Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with reporters Sydney Bowles, Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, Kyle Singer, Juliana McGrain with sports, Peter Brown with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. The Select Board voted unanimously in support of a Mall Road area mixed-use zoning proposal, a year in the making. While the Planning Board voted 3-4 against the plan, the Select Board members said the proposal would bring Burlington's commercial district into the next era of commercial and residential development and would allow for increased economic vitality for the entire town in the future. The proposed mixed-use zoning district would turn different zoning types in the Burlington Mall area into one unified district. According to Economic Development Director Melissa Tintakalis, the change could make way for developments with retail space on the ground floor and residential units above. Over the course of 10 years, it could bring in about 1,125 people and an estimated net revenue of $52 million. The new zoning proposal is slated for the January town meeting. The Select Board also recently approved a comprehensive study of the town's form of government with the goal of producing a new charter. The move comes after the town was awarded a $15,000 state grant for a contract that has gone to the Collins Center, a UMass Boston organization that supports local and state governments with management challenges. The board is now seeking between 5 and 11 members for a committee, which will meet twice monthly for 12 to 18 months with the support of the Collins Center staff. The Select Board would review recommendations and pass on a draft charter or special act to town meeting for a vote. A townwide vote would also be needed for final adoption. The Burlington Select Board voted unanimously to raise the rates for a trip in a Burlington Fire Department ambulance to bring the town's rates in line with those in nearby communities. According to Fire Chief Andrew Conity, the charges are a user fee that offset the cost of purchasing, maintaining, and supplying the town's ambulances. The fee hike will not affect those on Medicare, people who are over 65 plus. Burlington offers 3 levels of ambulance service. ELS transport, the lowest level of service, is a simple ride to the hospital with no additional medical care provided. The next level is ALS 1, includes non-invasive procedures that EMS officers can provide, such as putting on a cardiac monitor, starting an IV, or giving medications that would normally get at the emergency room. The highest level of service, ALS 2, includes invasive procedures like intubation. The new fees for those services are $1,700, $2,300, and $3,200 respectively. The National Defense software firm, Scientific Systems, cut the ribbon on its new Burlington headquarters. U.S. Senator Ed Markey was in attendance and commended the firm's contributions to the nation's ongoing security efforts. BNews reporter Sydney Bowles was on the hand for the occasion.
3, 2, 1, go. Beautiful.
Scientific Systems has been around for more than 30 years. It provides software to the U.S. military for use in warcraft like drones, and it's on the cutting edge of using artificial intelligence in warfare. Dr. Raman Mehra, CEO of Scientific Systems, says that with its new headquarters in Burlington, the company is poised to take a leadership role in the future of national defense.
The future of warfare is being driven by rapid advances in AI and autonomy, as we all know. Our company, Scientific Systems, stands to play a major part in the technological transformation of the U.S. military.
Senator Ed Markey commended the company for its role in the Massachusetts economy.
The kind of work that Scientific Systems does in Burlington, Massachusetts, is based upon one key ingredient, brain power, which is reinforced by small business innovation research grants that come from Washington, D.C., in order to encourage, engender, ultimately develop the smart software that is then used by the United States to project our democratic ideals around the rest of the world, to say to Russia, to say to other evil forces in the world that we have technological superiority. It all starts right here at Scientific Systems in Burlington, Massachusetts.
For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
The Burlington High School Building Committee is nearing a key decision point, choosing a proposal to renovate the existing building, renovate some of the building and add some new sectors, or build an entirely new high school. In a sit-down conversation with BNews this week, the project manager and lead architect discussed the pros and cons of those various options and came to a similar conclusion. It might be the best educational option and the most cost-effective to build an entirely new school somewhere else on the high school site. Principal architect Chris Blesson laid out the rationale.
It affords you the opportunity to build completely separate from a school environment. So construction and school are not a symbiotic relationship. They're very difficult to manage, and we go through a lot of work. We've all done projects where we've had to manage that dance really carefully, and students remain safe, but it's just definitely not ideal, and there's an impact. And what you'll hear us talk about, and with the two scenarios that Dr. Conti and Terry just talked about, there's the cost impact of those, but there's an intangible impact to students and teachers and people in the building that for some of these projects is an entire high school experience. And so when you build a new building somewhere else on site, it's the kind of tried and true strategy for high schools or any school in the state. You're doing it at Fox Hill too, but you can sort of cordon off the construction zone. You can separate that entire activity on its own, build over there just fine, and then flip the students over into it and then deal with the existing building or remnants once you're done. And it just affords a sort of faster timeline, a smoother transition. One of the things that's hard with ad renos too, and any kind of renovation scenario, is that you kind of never feel like the project's done, and that lasts into occupancy too. And so we want to make sure that we're being honest about that and say, like, you feel like you're in construction for 4 years, and then as the building shakes out, these are big, complicated buildings, there are things that we have to like get through trials, and we have to like tune them in just right over the first year or two. And that's hard enough in a new building, but when you're in an ad reno, it just feels like you're never done.
Okay.
And so the new building offers all of these, like, there's a point in time where we went into it, and there's a transition, and it's very smooth, typically, and very finite, and that's helpful.
Are you still considering other options, like moving the school to a vacant lab building at 10 Corporate Drive? A final decision on strategy is expected in the coming months. The numbers bandied about so far between $200 and $300 million, and the State School Assistance Bureau has not committed any funds at this point. The Burlington Schools girls softball team is raising funds for a scholarship in honor of former head coach Kristen Farrell. Gloria Wojcicek, Director of Family and Community Engagement for Burlington Public Schools, helped to make the scholarship a reality. Farrell announced her retirement from coaching last summer after 15 seasons. She led the team to their first state championship in 2023. The scholarship will be available to all senior softball players, and you can donate through the Burlington Community Scholarship Foundation. There will also be a Kristen Farrell Memorial Softball game held over Memorial Day weekend, which will help to raise funds. The Burlington Rotary Interact Club held their annual holiday party for friends and family of Burlington Special Olympians. Robert Paris was on hand for the event with BCAT volunteer Kyle Singer reporting.
This is Kyle here at the Holiday Rotary Echo Party. Let's check it out.
The Rotary Interact Club held their holiday party at the BHS cafeteria. BCAT volunteer Kyle Sinner spoke with some partygoers about the holiday.
What is your favorite holiday music to listen to?
Jingle Bell Rock.
Mine's too. Famous Christmas classic.
I really like the Charlie Brown Christmas, the Peanut special.
So Kevin, what is your favorite holiday candy?
You gotta get probably candy canes or any kind of peppermint. I love that flavor.
If you have a choice to bake, what would it be? Holiday cookies or gingerbread?
Oh, definitely gingerbread. What kind of question is that, right? We love gingerbread.
We all do.
John Tuccinardi was one of the organizers of the event, and seeing everyone together before Christmas was a delight.
So John, how do you like the holiday party?
This is fantastic. This is our second annual holiday party with the Echo Enrichment Group in Burlington, the Burlington Interact High School Rotary Club, and we have the Rotary Club of Burlington here, and we have some of our basketball players from our group on Thursday.
Yes.
Yes.
The night wouldn't have been complete without a visit from Santa and the elves.
How is the weather at the North Pole?
It's very cold right now, but looking good.
How are the elves doing? Working hard?
Yeah, the elves are good. We brought one tonight, and then we got a bunch of others getting ready for the big holiday.
Have anybody been on the good list or the bad list this year?
A lot of people are good this year, which is nice.
That is good. Good to hear. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hopefully everybody's been good this year, and hopefully see you in 2025.
The Burlington Board of Health is raising awareness about seasonal affective disorder, a type of depression that happens at a certain time of year and is usually related to changes in seasons. Symptoms usually appear during late fall or early winter and go away during the sunnier days of spring and summer. This occurs because the days are shorter and the exposure to sunlight is less, which can cause a chemical change in the brain. Symptoms include fatigue, low energy level, irritability, anxiety, sleep disruptions, loss of interest in favorable activities, and inability to concentrate. Anyone experiencing or having concerns about symptoms of SAD should speak to their healthcare provider. Treatment for SAD may include light therapy, psychotherapy, and medications, or just vitamins like vitamin D. For more, you can contact the Board of Health at 781-270-1955 or at burlington.org. Temple Shalom Emet in Burlington is gearing up for Hanukkah. Rabbi Susan Abramson explains that according to legend, a little jar of oil that was only supposed to have enough oil for one day miraculously lasted for 8, which is why Hanukkah has lasted 8 days. This year, Hanukkah begins the evening of December 25th. Temple Shalom Emet will hold a ceremonial lighting of the menorah all 8 nights of Hanukkah at 6:30 in front of the temple. All in the community are welcome. The Burlington High School English Department has been participating in the Poetry Out Loud recitation competition since it started 20 years ago. The 20th year of the BHS Poetry Out Loud Finals took place at the Fogelberg Auditorium, where student poets recited their own selected poems with a crowning of a Poet Laureate by the end.
The finals for the Poetry Out Loud took place on December 17th at the BHS Auditorium with 8 students in the competition. This year's Poet Laureate was Skylar Pankay, who is thrilled to be going to the state finals in January.
It is very exciting. I'm thrilled. As I said, I absolutely love poetry and I love performing, so Poetry Out Loud, it combines both of those loves of mine, and I am really happy to be able to represent poetry in such a great way.
BHS English Department Chair Judy Crossman is the new organizer for this year's event.
The responsibilities of the English Department Chair is to organize and run our annual Poetry Out Loud event. The way it works is every student in the school, grades 9 through 12, participates at the classroom level. So every English teacher runs a classroom competition. 2 winners from every classroom go on to the semifinals, which are run each period. And from the semifinals, 1 winner from each period goes on to the finals, plus a wild card winner. So we have 8 finalists by the end.
It was also the 20th anniversary of the competition, with BHS participating from the beginning.
I think it's sort of like a joyful event. Like, you get to see kids who are working really hard and then seeing the payoff for that hard work. And we get to celebrate, these amazing student recitations and enjoy good poetry. So for me, it's just a joyful moment.
We want to congratulate Skylar on her win. From the BHS Auditorium, I'm Aaron Trickett for BNEWS Weekly.
The BHS winter sports season is underway. Let's go to Juliana McGrain for the latest Red Devil action.
Hey everyone, I'm Juliana McGrain and this is your weekly sports report. Girls basketball kicked off the season against Reading Rockets on December 13th. We go to the highlights.
The Burlington Red Devils welcomed the Rockets of Reading to the Vanilla Gym for the season opener for all. Both teams were neck and neck at 11 points. Burlington stepped up in the second with another 20 points. Rocket gained 8, 31-19 Devils. The Devils managed to get 7 points in the third period, still having the lead over Reading, 38-26. Burlington closed out the season opener with a 49-41 victory and a first career win for Neil Ribello.
I thought our girls did an outstanding job, just staying to the plan, doing the little things that we talked about, and they just kept working at it, kept working on it. We had a big second quarter, obviously, because Savannah went off for 14, which is a big deal. But it kind of shows you the power of being able to shoot, right? So we just got to go back and keep shooting it hard in practice and get after it.
The team is currently 2-0 after a 41-33 win over Lexington this past week. Boys basketball are also 2-0 after a 51-40 win against Reading. We go to the highlights of the Lexington match.
Lexington paid a visit to Burlington for the boys' home opener. The Devils start off the game on the right foot with a 25-point advantage, 25-16. The Minutemen took the second period after a resurgence lead of 23 points, 39-35. Different story in the third, when the Devils took it to the next level by 27 points, 62-56. The game ended with a big 87-63 win for Burlington, and Phil Connors couldn't have been happier with the results.
We're ahead of schedule as far as how far they've come in there. I love how we're playing. We're better defense. We could be very, very good defensively. We fly around. The ball moves. We got shooters. It's an exciting team to be around, and I'm happy. But it all comes from their work in the offseason. They're all workers.
After both hockey teams lost to Reading last weekend in the season opener, they bounced back at the Ice Palace against Lexington. Let's see the results.
The Ice Palace was filled with fans as Devils hockey came out and competed with Lexington. In the first game, the girls scored 5 goals, while their defense allowed 2 goals to get past them in the win. As for the boys, their defense was a brick wall, keeping their opponent at bay. Offensively, they too scored 5 goals in the big shutout. Both teams improved to 1-1.
We got a goal.
Devils Wrestling lost their first meet to Tingsboro, Dracut, Milton, and Chelmsford on December 14th. They had a big 63-18 win against Malden Catholic, which they earned 9 pins on the night and only lost 1 contested match. Devils improved their record to 1-3. Both the indoor track teams will have a meet against Melrose on December 19th. As of this taping, the meet is still ongoing. The boys swim team is 0-2 after falling to Belmont 66-96 and Arlington 71-94. Shade Woodbury broke his own record from last year in the 100 backstroke. Coming in at 57.77 seconds, he earned a spot in the sectionals and state championship this meet this coming February. He also qualified for sectionals after coming in 52.51 seconds on the 100 freestyle. The Rocket League and Mario Kart teams of the Red Devils Esports wrapped up the fall season in the finals last week. Rocket League placed second in the regular season play and was seeded second in the state for playoff. They beat Westport and lost to Braintree in the semifinals in Game 7. Mario Kart placed fourth in regular season play and was seeded in the 4th state for playoffs. They lost to Methuen in the semifinals. The spring season will begin in February. For more Red Devil action, check out our sports section at bcattv.org/sports and follow us on X at BNEWS Sports. That's all for this week. I'm Julianne McGrain. Back to you guys in the studio.
With Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa all happening this coming week, let's check in with BNews weatherman Peter Brown to see what we can expect in the forecast.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the tail end of December, getting in towards the end of the year, getting in towards the very end of the holiday season. I know it's hard to believe that we are almost done with 2024, and we are definitely going to be seeing a very winter-like pattern as we start out our period and going through all the way through the end of next week. The official start of winter happens this coming Saturday, the 21st at 4:20 a.m., our local time, so it will definitely be true to form as winter comes in. Now, starting at our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the low 40s, and we're going to be a good 5 to 10 degrees colder than that. It is going to be a very chilly week coming out. If you have any more preparations out getting ready for the holidays, as you know, Christmas is next Wednesday, the first night of Hanukkah is next Wednesday, and Kwanzaa begins next Thursday. So all of our three big holidays are coming up next week, and it is going to be bone-chilling out there, unfortunately, if you have to do any planning or any shopping that you might have left. Now, starting up here on Friday again, temperatures are going to be struggling to get above freezing, about 33 with some light snow flurries around. That weather's going to continue, we think, through much of the weekend, and then looks like it's going to dry out as we get in towards next week. We might have a little bit of a sneaky mix of maybe some snow and light snow and rain on Wednesday afternoon into the evening. Definitely going to be, unfortunately, for your Christmas, start of Hanukkah, and also the start of Kwanzaa. It's going to be kind of cloudy out there as we get in towards the Wednesday and Thursday time frame. And of course, by the time we get towards the end of next week, we should be seeing temperatures this time of the year only, yes, unfortunately, in the upper 30s, and I think that's pretty much where we're going to end up. Probably actually another, again, 10 degrees colder than that as we get towards the end of the period. Of course, the only thing that's good about this coming up into the start of winter is we know that the length of day is going to start getting longer again. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation coming up over the next 7 to 10 days. Looking at our temperature map, nothing new here. December has been very chilly out there, except for a couple of days here and there where we've had some rainstorms, where we've had some warm air come in, but it has been chilly. That pattern is going to continue, we think, throughout to the end of the rest of the year. And looking at our precipitation chances, at least this is some good news going into the cold weather. It looks like it is going to be drier than normal. We have caught up fairly well with our drought that we had from the fall. We've gotten a lot of rain over here in the Burlington area the past few weeks or so. So that is some good news. So we're not as in much of a desperate need for precipitation as we were back in November. So if it's going to be cold, let's keep it dry out there. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, this last big weekend before all of the holidays come up next week, if you have to be out and about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, any of these days, you have got to make sure you have a heavy coat on, scarf, earmuffs. Definitely by the time we get to Sundays, we're going to see temperatures on Sunday struggling to get out of the teens, and we're going to see morning lows going to be pretty close to zero, I think, here in the Burlington area. We might be actually overdoing it by saying temperatures only getting to around 3 degrees at night. It may actually be chillier than that as we, of course, get in towards the start of the work week before the holidays come up on Monday. Going to be still very cold out there, starting out a very chilly morning, temperatures only getting into the mid-20s. At least it will be sunny out there and not too breezy, we don't think, so that will alleviate some of the cold. But then again, as we get into Wednesday, it's going to be a pretty cloudy day, we think, out there as Santa's arriving at your house. Again, the start of Hanukkah, and then getting into the start of Kwanzaa on Thursday. We're going to be chilly out there. Seasonably chilly, we think, on Wednesday, but then getting pretty cool again on Thursday, struggling to get out of the low 30s. And again, be careful if you're going to be out and about on Wednesday evening into Thursday morning. We may have a slippery mix of some light rain and snow, so definitely keep that out as you're going out for the holidays next week. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, have a great week, and happy holidays.
Hi, my name is Alan Foles. I'm the producer and host of the podcast, It's Also History. I wish everyone a happy and safe holiday season.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On December 25th at 6:30 p.m., Temple Shalom Amath will be celebrating Hanukkah with a ceremonial menorah lighting. Everyone is welcome. The temple will light the menorah on all 8 nights. On December 31st from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a noon New Year's Eve party with magician Chris Herrick. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, go to the library website. Also on December 31st, Kings on 3rd Avenue will be having an event called Strike Midnight. Everyone is welcome and pre-registration is required. For more information, go to the following website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
Home Instead in Lexington is a service that helps aging adults live well at home. Home Instead fulfilled the Christmas list of many Burlington seniors this year. In the photo of the week we see, left to right, Sheila Farron, a social worker at the Burlington Council on Aging, Beth Daly of Home Instead, and Marge Yetman, Burlington Council on Aging Director. Thanks to Marge for sending in the photo. If you have a photo you'd like to see here and featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. We want to thank you for watching BNEWS this year. We'll be off until the new year, but be sure to look for our Year in Review 2024. From our family of staff and volunteers here at BCAT, to you and yours, we wish you everyone a happy and safe holiday season. See you next year.